Hey, today I am going to see if I can get this Partner P70 put together that I got off Briscoe. He got it, the carb restore part in pieces, so there's a few other things, but I'm going to see if I can get her to fire today and see what happens. I don't have a carb kit for this saw, but the diaphragm is still kind of pliable, so this is going to be one of those middle grounds where it might start, it might not. So we're going to find out. Let's see what happens. Now I'm hoping this thing does fire, because if I can get it fired, then I'm going to try to put it in some wood and see how she pulls. I want to get an idea of how it runs, because I'm going to build this saw. So, I want to see how it runs stock before I do any work to it. So that's why I want to get the start. If I have to, I'll put a carb kit on it or get another carb or something to get it going. But right now I want to see this saw run in its stock form before I do any porting to it. Alrighty? Alright, so here's the P70. It's a Partner P70. She was apart. The carburetor was in a couple of pieces and so forth, so I kind of put everything back together. I had to put a spark plug in it. I got the wrong spark plug in it. It takes a CJ6, and all I had sitting here was a CJ8. So that's what it's got in it. I had to pull the muffler off and clean a bunch of crud out of there. The cylinder had a bunch of rat poop or mouse poop sitting down on top of the piston, so I took care of that. The pull rope is quite stiff, so there's a chance she might break on us. What else? The high idle, like the throttle lock for the choke, it's barely touching, so we might have issues getting it to start because of that. I can't think of much else. I mean, I just basically put her together and kind of gave her a good examination. First time I've had to put fuel in on this side, and the bar oil is down here. That little guy down there. First time I ran into that. But yeah, let's take her outside and see if she fires for us. I didn't put a carb kit in or anything, so we'll have to see. I didn't have a carb kit for this saw, so I'm just going to see if the kit that was already here will pull fuel. She's a little bit on the stiff side, but I think it might work. It's kind of in that in-between area. Alrighty, so let's see what happens. Alright, so I had to shut it off. The governor kind of popped out of there. So I'm guessing the previous owner had removed it and put it back in, but didn't tighten it back up. So I'm going to go ahead and just block it and put it back in. And then the high idle on it doesn't function properly anymore. It's a plastic part and it's wore out. So that's something I'll have to keep in mind for the future. But let's go ahead and get a bar and chain on this and see if we can get it to cut some wood. Alrighty. doesn't look like I'm going to get it into wood, but hey, she's running, so we're one step closer, you know. I'm guessing that what we're seeing here is the reason this saw was shut down in the first place. She's starving on the top end. I can tune the low speed just fine, but the top end, she just goes lean. It doesn't matter what I do at the screw. It doesn't change the tune. I did the tilt test and I didn't see any issues there. So probably an issue in the carburetor of some sort. Now this thing is puking oil like mad. I've never had a saw spit out that much bar oil in such a short amount of time. It's everywhere. It's all over the ground. That is a lot of bar oil, I'll tell you. I wonder if it's adjustable, because that's a lot. So I'll have to research some stuff there. There's also a possibility that the bar oil is actually getting into the cylinder. Did you see how much smoke this thing's producing? So, you know, there's a possibility we're getting bar oil into the cylinder. But, you know, it could be a crack, it could be anything that causes that. I've had that happen once or twice before. We'll see how that goes. Maybe this thing just, you know, runs like that. Now I can tell you from the smell of the oil, this thing was definitely running on bean oil. I haven't smelled that oil in a long time. It's got this smell to it that you just never forget. That is 100% definitely bean oil that I'm smelling. You just never forget that smell, if you know what I mean. But yeah, hey, she's running. We're one step closer. I think I'm just going to throw another carb on it. That's what I'm thinking about doing. Just putting a new carb on it instead of a kit. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Maybe I will get a kit. I am thinking about just putting another carb on it and not getting a kit, because as I was into the carburetor, I'm suspicious of a check valve issue or something. I'm suspicious something's going on there. The metering lever is actually adjusted high right now, and it's still starving for fuel. I don't know, she's acting funky, you know what I mean? She'll idle fine, but everything else, it just doesn't want to do proper like. So we'll see. But we'll see what I do here, because I can get a new carb for, you know, 10 bucks more than what I can get the carb kit. So, you know, I can get a new carb, throw this into the side for parts, or, you know, rebuild it down the road for another project. You know what I mean? This carb would actually fit on, you know, home lights and stuff like that. It's actually set up just right that I could use it. I mean, the choke lever's on the wrong side, but, you know, I could make it work. So, you know what I mean? I might just go ahead and buy another carb. We'll see how that goes, though. What else? I did put a new fuel line and fuel filter on it. The fuel tank, you know, this actually might be in my smoke, because the fuel tank, it came out like molasses. So that actually might be where my smoke's coming from. All that bean oil separated from the fuel from the years, you know what I mean? There was stuff in there that completely black, so we might just be burning that off. And it's definitely bean oil based. So, you know, this smoke might just clear up as I burn through a few tanks of gas, because the tank was pretty slimy in there, kind of thick and slimy. And the new gas would be rinsing it out, you know what I mean? Running it extra rich on the oil, you know? So that actually might be the cause of all the smoke and all that stuff. And there may not be any issue with the oiler. I mean, there's nothing wrong with putting out a lot of oil. If this thing wants to go through more than a tank of oil per tank of gas, then I'll look at it. But as of right now, I'm going to leave it as is. You know, there's nothing wrong with putting out a whole lot of oil. Nothing wrong with that at all. So, you know, hey, she's running. I think we just got to put a carb on it and we'll be good to go. So that's our next step. Get a carb on it, get it tested, and then start building it. So, you know, I'm pretty excited about this build. So there we go. And that'll be it for today. Boy, my camera, boy, my lens, it's bad. Wow. That's all puked all over my lens. Oil everywhere. Let me clean this off. All right, that'll have to do. A little t-shirt cleaning, you know. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. we'll get this thing fixed up and running great, and then we'll get into porting it. You know, this will be our 70cc saw that we run for, you know, our competitions and stuff, at least for a while. You know, we'll make it a little hotter than what I would normally do. So, you know, hopefully she holds together. But I think it will. I mean, I'm going to make it a little hotter, but I'm not going to get to the extreme, you know what I mean? So, you know, we're just going to do like a muffler mod setup and all that. So, you know, we'll be pretty good. But anyway, yeah, hey, we'll catch you on the next one. Later.